With Dynamics 365 Finance, Accounts Payable Invoice Automation, we can automatically submit imported invoices to workflow, automatically match product receipts to pending vendor invoice lines, and simulate posting prior to posting the vendor invoice. Additional key features include viewing workflow history and support to analyze the results of the straight-through process by tracking key metrics such as the touchless rate, days to process invoice, and assignment per approver. We're going to start by enabling the vendor invoice automation feature by going to the Feature Management workspace, searching All, and typing Automate to access the Accounts Payable module. Next, we set up the workflow from the Accounts Payable workflow area and select Vendor Invoice Workflow. To have a truly touchless scenario, you'll want to have an automated posting element in your workflow, either the post invoice or the post invoice using a batch element. Then we will set up parameters in the Accounts Payable Parameters page and select Vendor Invoice Automation from the sidebar. In this first feature, Accounts Payable professionals can automatically submit imported invoices to the workflow for approval. Behind the scenes, this is enabling a background task that processes incoming imported invoices, which you can configure to run using a daily or hourly frequency. We can also configure other tasks and validations that need to be run prior to the automatic workflow submission. For example, we can opt in to require that the system matches our product receipts to invoice lines prior to running the submission process. Another cost and labor-saving feature is the automated Match Product Receipt to Invoice Lines process. After entering invoices into the system, it automatically processes the incoming product receipts and matches them to previously saved invoices, eliminating the need to monitor the arrival of goods manually. It can be configured to run using a daily or hourly frequency, and it can be included as part of the auto-submission process. When using this function, we need to make sure that invoice matching validation is enabled and that the system is automatically updating the invoice header match status as well. We complete setup in the background processes by going to the Process Automation area of Systems Administration. For this example, let's look at Submit Vendor Invoices to the workflow. From here, we have access to the user ID. We can set alerts and manage execution details, such as the frequency the process will be run. The user ID will be used as the submitter value by the workflow process. To see the results, we go into Accounts Payable and then into the Vendor Invoice Entry form. This workspace provides insight into the invoices that didn't make it through the automated process successfully. Power BI Analytics helps accounts payable staff identify opportunities for greater efficiency. The vendor invoice entry allows us to focus on the items that need attention, such as invoices not submitted to workflow or invoices that have not been imported. By selecting this tile, we gain insight into the invoices not submitted, including the automated submit to workflow status as well as the automated receipt match status. By selecting the invoice that failed, we receive the error message letting us know the invoice number must be specified. In this case, the accounts payable clerk could go back to the list page and enter in the invoice number, or they could drill back into more detail. Under Manual Receipt Match, we can identify that this item has reached the maximum number of matching attempts. Now we want to review the automation status of a pending invoice. By selecting one, we see the details of the invoice. This one is in the workflow step of the automatic submit to workflow status. If we needed to interrupt the automation, we can resubmit it back into the automated processing after making the necessary edits to the invoice. On the Analytics page in Workspace, you can see the efficiencies of your automation efforts. This workspace gives you a view across all the companies you may be managing. Notice key metrics such as the touchless invoice the last 30 days and days to process an invoice. Along the bottom of the form are additional tabs. For this example, we are interested in these reasons for automation failures. From here, we gain valuable business insights. Data such as the number of failed invoices, the vendor, supplier name, etc. are present. To the right are grids that provide greater detail. Another key feature is the enhanced workflow. Let's go to the company selector and look at this pending invoice form. The enhanced workflow history helps speed up decision-making by illuminating the need to search for information. A simplified view shows the history in reverse chronological order of the steps in workflow that this invoice has gone through. For example, the approver, Julia, can quickly assess the workflow history and see that Cassie is responsible for this invoice. The final feature we will cover is Simulate Posting. Accounts payable clerks can fix any data errors before submitting into the workflow for approval or posting it, ensuring accuracy and saving time. Let's select Simulate Posting. Simulation of posting completes the validation steps that are done during the posting process for vendor invoices without updating any accounting. In the pink bar, the Simulate Posting result indicates failed, so we know an error exists that needs fixing prior to posting. We can assess that an issue exists with the accounting and which distribution had the issue. This demo has presented the feature set encompassing the automation of accounts payable processes for Dynamics 365 Finance, Accounts Payable Invoice Automation.